Hi, it's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. Welcome today. We're going to be talking about some 3-yard quilt favorites, patterns that have been proven over and over to be popular with you, but we're going to do something a little different. We have a whole show around brand new fabrics. We had a great big shipment coming in, so we are going to be showing you over the next few weeks lots of new things. So let's get started. We're talking about 3-yard quilts. If you've never joined us before, every one of the quilts that we show you today will have been published in one of my books or one of my individual patterns. I have 9 different books that I've published. 7 of them are in print. 2 are download only. So if you're going to be purchasing from us, the books are $15.99. The kits are individually priced, and you either get 1 free pattern, or when you buy 3 kits, you can take 1 of the books free. So we'll be telling you each one of the quilts, what book it's in, and whether it's an individual pattern only or in another book. So let's walk over here and see what Hannah's got for us. This is one of my favorite quilts and very popular with many of our customers. It's called it's called So Quick. And that's So Quick, S-E-W. Whenever I first designed this pattern, it was because people were coming into our booth at quilt shows and they were saying that fabric was so pretty they didn't want to cut it up. And so I went to my design table and I designed a 10-inch block so that you would be able to show off more of your beautiful fabrics. Now, a really cool thing about 3-yard quilts, we don't fussy cut. Everything is done in strip piecing, and we utilize the fabric in such a way that it's very efficiently used. So this is a 10-inch block, and then we have a 4-patch here with 5-inch blocks. So let's put that quilt up on the table, and I'll show you the new fabric. This is fabric that we had a couple of years ago, but we always like to show you the quilt so you can see what the whole quilt looks like when it's made up, and then we will share the new fabrics. About a month or so ago, we had a set of fabrics that was some kind of popular, let me tell you, but it was in a little different colorway than this. So we immediately contacted the manufacturer because we sold out so fast, and they did have it in this blue colorway. So we got that to show you, and we are very excited about it. It's got the wonderful bees and the daisies with a little gray background. And then this fabric has the crowns, queen bee, and then you've got your bees. And that's your number 2 fabric, and your number 3 fabric is kind of like the flight of the bees. We just enjoyed putting these 3 together. Really cute. So your fabric number 1 is your largest print. It'll go in the 10-inch block. Then you compare these 2 and you pick out your number 2 fabric goes in the lightest of the next 2, and then the number 3 fabric is the one that goes into the darkest position. This one is called Queen Bee. The kit number is 8020656. The pattern is So Quick. It is in my book Quilt Favorites, and that book is out of print, but you can select it as a downloadable. It's $15.99 if you purchase the book. If you buy 3 kits, you can get the book free. It also comes as an individual pattern, so if you just want 1 kit, then you'll get the pattern free with that. Now we've got another set of fabrics. We're going to show another set of fabrics that would look great in this same quilt, So Quick. So that one is called All My Love. And this is just perfect. And in plenty of time to get it done for a Christmas present, or if you want to save it for Valentine's. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is your focus fabric, and it would go in your large 10-inch block. And then we have 2 of these wonderful coordinated fabrics. So you've got kind of a peachy color to coordinate with the peaches, and that would be your number 2 fabric. You always compare these 2. Take your lightest for number 2, your darkest for number 3. And then you've got this cute little basket weave that would be your number 3 going in the darkest position. So this one is called All My Love. We're recommending the So Quick pattern, and as I said, it's available in the Quilt Favorites, or it's available as an individual pattern. Okay, the next quilt that we have, this one was inspired by my husband. So when I was writing the very first book that I did, I had 7 patterns designed, and I needed one more pattern. And I always design at home sitting on the sofa with my feet propped up. For some reason, I have to be nice and relaxed whenever I'm doing that job. And he was over in his chair, and I said, I need one more pattern. I need an inspiration. I've got 7 of them finished, but I still need one more. So Robert says, well, why don't you do one that is inspired by the Byzantine door? And I looked at him and said, if I knew what the Byzantine door was, I might be able to do this. Well, he's just maybe a little bit more cultured than me, because he knew that it was a door in a chapel over in Rome. And so he told me about it, and I looked it up. And in the book, we actually tell you where you can go to a link to read about the Byzantine door. They are 12-foot tall doors that have 12 panels, and each panel has one of the apostles in it. So I thought that was a really cool story. So I looked at the door, and I kind of figured around, and so we created the Byzantine door. And so my husband got his first joint byline by coming up with the idea. So let's put that up here. I no longer have that fabric, but we have some brand new fabric that I think you're going to love. I know I do. Now this is a great quilt to use whenever you're doing, when you have 2 prints that are from the same line of fabric, like this one, and you can use them in your quilt, and they will look so good with this particular pattern, the way it's sashed. So we chose the fabric number 1. These are the same size prints, but we get to choose which one goes where. I chose this as my focus fabric, and when you choose the focus fabric, then you compare these two. You no longer use this for comparison, because it is going to be the darkest one, but trust me, it'll still look great. So that's our fabric 1. Our fabric 2 is the lightest of these 2, and your number 3 fabric is this green. So as you can see right over here on the quilt, you've got a big red spot. That's where that dark blue is going to be, and then your light color will be here, with your sashing is that lighter green. This is going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous quilt. This one's called Fantasy Garden. It's 8020657. The pattern is Byzantine Door. It's in the Quick and Easy book, but it's only available as a download in Quick and Easy book. The pattern is available, so if you order 1 kit, you'll get this pattern or you can get your choice of patterns to go with this. If you want to take the book, you can purchase it for $15.99. We will send you a code so you can download it, or you can get it free if you're purchasing 3 kits. You just skip your little patterns and you get the book instead. All right, the next one that we have, this is one of my most popular patterns ever, I think. This one, several years ago, I could actually see how many times a pattern had been pinned on Pinterest. It's probably been about 4 years ago, and they changed the way they did things, and you can kind of track that something's being pinned a lot, but to be able to trace it all the way through, you can't do that anymore, or I don't know how to do it anymore. But this one, 4 years ago, had already been pinned over 100,000 times, and it was a very young pattern at the time. So it's been very, very popular. I don't have the pretty ladies. I think this was called Ladies in Red, but we got some fun fabric here. Now, if my granddaughter Felicia is watching, I named this quilt fabric kit after her. Felicia has a couple of cute little weenie dogs, and they are so sweet. Achilles and Zoe, and so I named this kit Felixs Babies, and it's 8020658. Stepping Stones is the pattern, and you can get it as an individual, or it's in the book pretty darn quick. Now these little guys are so cute, and the puppies would look great in your larger square. And then see how they all have these cute little patterned doggy coats? Well, I just kind of picked up that little pattern and picked out a cute little pattern that has some red and some of the grays. It just looks so cute with it. And then we tied it all together with a pretty red back here. So this one is called Felixs Babies, and it is kit number 8020658. All right, now the next one, this one's in from my brand new book, Quick as a Wink. And I really have a lot of fun working with kind of patterned fabrics. This is not a batik, but it's sort of a little batik look-alike. I really like that. And so I designed this more modern look to go with that type of fabric. And this is a good example of picking out your focus fabric. So your focus fabric is here, and then you pick out your light, that's here, and your dark would be here, and then out here on the edge. But as you can see, that light becomes the background of your quilt design. So when you're using 3-yard quilts, that's the way I design them, so that you have a light that makes your pattern really pop forward. That's why I always encourage you to pick your fabric, your focus, and then your light, and then your dark. Now this is a pretty fabric, and we have pieces and parts. Pieces and parts, if you don't know, is where I will show you how these blocks are made. And look at this gorgeous fabric. So this is your fabric number 1, and that's going to go in your large square. So we have a large square cut. So you can see that. And that's going to be that particular square. And then your fabrics 2 and 3, let me move that over here, your light and your dark. And so this is going to be your background color. And we're going to make a strip set like this. And I thank Sandy for doing this for us. She's great about helping us with our pieces and parts when we get ready to put them together. Isn't that great? Now, once you make this, you're going to cut off of the end. I'm going to fold this back. You're going to cut off of the end of your strip set as you're directed. You're going to create some units. Now she's taken the seam allowances off of these, so you can see how pretty this looks, and this is just cut right off of the end. And that piece is going to go right here. So are you seeing how it's fashioned? Now you make a second grouping of fabrics, and there's a half square triangle, a square, and another half square triangle rotated. Now we're going to put those right on top of that, and then we'll put another one just like that over here. Is that not cool? Let me get my cropping tool so you can see this, and you can see how that looks when we get some of that other color out of the way. So isn't that pretty? So that's what your quilt is going to look like when you make it up with these 3 fabrics. All right. So would you like for me to take the pieces and parts?
Sure.
All righty. There we go. Now let's look at these. Here's your fabric 1, your fabric 2, and your fabric 3. Absolutely gorgeous. And this one is called Crystallize. The pattern is called Soho, and it's from our book Quick as a Wink. Here's the cover of Quick as a Wink. It has 8 different patterns in that book, and Soho is just one. We also give you your instructions for a lap, a twin, and a king queen. It is only available in Quick as a Wink, so we wanted to give you an alternate pattern, and we suggested So Fast. So Fast would look really good too. If you've never made a 3-yard quilt, one of the things that's just awesome about 3-yard quilts is if you have 3 yards of fabric, a focus, a light, and a dark, you can make any one of my patterns and it will work. So it really is a fun way to quilt, and really different from what you're used to in quilting and buying all these different sizes of fabric and amounts of fabric. Whoops. Oh, that's Donna knocking her microphone off.
Oh. Technical difficulty.
Just a little technical difficulty. Okay, this one is called Sweet Times. This one is one that I did for an earlier book, and I love this particular pattern. It is just a simple pattern of a 10-inch block. We border each of those blocks, put them together, alternating them, and it just goes together real fast. And we called it Sweet Times, and we have a beautiful new fabric that we want to show you on this one. Now, it's a perfect way to showcase a nice big print, because that's going to be in every one of those 10-inch blocks. You know, earlier I showed you some blocks that were alternating with a different, the opposite color, but this one is going to be in every one of the blocks. So this is your focus fabric for this one, that gorgeous watercolor flower. And with that, we've chosen the peaches, bring out the peachy colors in the flowers as our number 2. And then we brought out the blues. There's a lot of the blues in here. Let's see if we can show you where those blues are. So see how that brings out those blues that are in there? And so that's our number 3. So we have our focus, our fabric 1, and fabric 2, and fabric 3. This one is called Secret Garden. It's 8020660 is the kit number. The pattern is called Sweet Times. It's in the book Easy Peasy. It's also available as an individual pattern if you prefer to take that. Okay, the next one is from my first book. Again, this one is called Picture Perfect, and I really like this one. And just to give you a little heads up, if you like to embroidery, this is a great one for that. You can either skip the focus fabric and put a solid color here and embroidery on it, or you could do a little embroidery over here in this one. I did that because people were asking me for things that they could actually embroidery in the different blocks. So this one, again, is called Picture Perfect, and we have some fun fabric for this one. I guess I could say, does anybody watching like to sew? One of those questions that doesn't need to be asked. We got some new sewing fabric in. Isn't this cute? So we've got these wonderful little scissors. You've got some stork scissors. You've got some shears here. Really cute. All the little fancy scissors, tape measures, etc. So that's our fabric number 1, our focus fabric. It's the largest print. Our fabric number 2 will be the spools of thread. And then our fabric number 3 will be the polka dot. Now, the way I would put this is I would put the scissors in your largest block where the floral is. Then I would put the spools over here in this block. And then they would both be bordered. I mean, the one would be bordered, but it almost makes it look like this one's bordered. You only have one of the blocks are bordered. And then that would be your blue, and then your blue ends up as your border out here. So, cute new sewing kit. 8020661, tailor-made. Picture Perfect is your pattern. It's from the book Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts, and it's also available as an individual. Now remember, Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts is only available as a download. If you buy 3 kits and get the book free and you choose that one, we send you a code and you can download that, and you'll have all 8 of those patterns. This one is called Porch Rails, and it's a fun fabric with the little farm animals in it. And then when I designed this is a rail fence, and I decided that since I'm a real porch person, I like to sit on my porch. And look at this great quilting. This one has chicken wire on it. That's really cute. Okay, so we don't have that fabric, but I do have another fabric that has farm animals that just came in.
I keep doing that.
All right. So on this one, we have all kinds of animals. We have cows, we have roosters, We have sheep and pigs, goats. So, how many of you have ever had a goat? We have had goats, haven't we, John? When my kids were younger, I guess they would have been early teens, we had goats. And they had responsibilities, and they loved it. Didn't you, John? The experience. So anyway, here's our animals. And then you've got a secondary fabric. That's our number 2. Comparing those two, your light is 2, dark is 3. And look at this great dark fabric. Has the little roosters on it. So it'll be a perfect companion for this. So you've got your little roosters on the actual fabric. The number 1 will go here. Your blue will be where the red is, and then your cream is going to be where that blue is. It's going to be a great looking quilt and a great Christmas present for someone if you're looking for that. Barnyard Friends, 8020663. Porch Rails is the pattern, and that's available in the Pretty Darn Quick book or as an individual pattern. And the next quilt is from, what book is that from? Fast and Fun. So Fast and Fun is, again, has 8 patterns. I always try to put one super fast pattern in every book, and one that gives you a little bit of challenge, and the rest of them are usually pretty right in the middle of the road. Not hard, not easy, so really good. Okay, so we've got 2 blocks that you could put focus fabrics in if you had some busy fabrics you wanted to use, and then they are sashed. And as you can see here, I used 3 busy fabrics, and it looks great. It's a lot of fun. So let's put that up here. And we have 3 busy fabrics. But this is going to be so fun. This one is called Teal Shimmer. So it's got these great blues, very patterned, very modern looking. And we can use this as your focus. That would go where your kitties are. Then we're going to use this as your number 2 fabric. That would go here. And a very similar colorway for the borders and the sashing. So this is a super easy pattern to make, and it would go together very, very quickly. So the number is 8020664, Teal Shimmer. Lickety Split is the pattern from Fast and Fun. It is not available as an individual pattern, so if you want Lickety Split, you have to take it from, you have to take it with the book. The alternate pattern is Diamond Dust. These fabrics would make up really nice with Diamond Dust, and so we recommend that one as an alternate. This one is a little bit more challenging. You could also do it with any one of my other patterns. So you get to pick the pattern you like best, or buy 3 kits, and you'll get a book free, and you'll have 8 patterns to choose from. It's a really good deal. Okay, this one is called Checkmate. Checkmate has been a very popular pattern for us, and as I told you earlier in the show, people were saying it's too cute to cut up. So I designed this off novelty prints. Figured you don't want to cut them up, you just cut the width of the fabric and make yourself a checkerboard right here. This one is adorable for the baseball. I don't have this particular fabric, but we have something new and fun over here that I can't wait to share with you. We have some fire pups. This is too cute. Look at all those Dalmatians. Too cute. Okay, so this is your focus fabric, and you're not going to have to cut it up. You're going to make a wide strip that goes, I believe it's 40 inches, so you're going to be able to get this whole thing across the quilt. The number 2 fabric is your cream, and that'll go here. And the number 3 fabric is your red. This will be a great one for somebody that loves dogs, or for a fireman in your life, or if you've got a little one that just loves the fire trucks, they will enjoy this. 8020665, Fire Pups. The pattern is Checkmate. It is available as an individual. It's also available in the book, Quilts for Kids. Okay, the next quilt that we have to show is from the Easy Does It book. And this one is the fast pattern that I did for that. Earlier I showed you Lickety Split from a previous book. This one is called Royalty. It's super fast. You can see here this is a huge 4-patch. And then I sashed it. So you've got a 4-patch here, sashing, another 4-patch here. Goes together. I actually called this one Overnight Sensation because it goes together so fast. We do have Royalty. This fabric is available. So if you're interested in it, it's called Royalty. You can do a search on Royalty and you'll be able to find that particular one. We chose this fabric. Isn't this great? It's called Carnival. And this one has this big, bold, bright colors, colorful patterned fabric. And that would go in your number 1 position, because your focus always goes in that number 1 position. Well, most of the time. I sometimes use it in my borders. Then you've got your pink. The pink would be right here. And then your purple would be your number 3 fabric. That's going to be here, and it will also fall out in the border. So this one would be adorable, made up in Overnight Sensation, and super, super fast. The kit number is 8020666. Carnival. It's Overnight Sensation. It's only available in the Easy Does It book, but we do have a suggestion for an alternative, and that is Town Square. Town Square has a nice big block that is surrounded by 2 different colors, and it really will show off your pretty fabrics. So I think you'd like it in that one very much. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the show today. We have more new fabric coming up in the near future, so keep watching, and we'll be either sprinkling it among other things, or we will be bringing it out in some more shows with brand new fabrics. So it's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. We certainly hope that you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is virtualquiltshowvideos.com, or visit us at fabriccafe.com. Have a great evening.